Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are doing another live stream with you guys with our Town Star developers. We got an extra person on here today that wasn't on last time. Like I said last week, we're going to try to do this every week if we can and bring new people on so that you guys can learn not only about the game and what we're doing and what we're working on, but also about the people behind it and why they're here. So this week we have Elliot Cannon still around here, and we've got Warren Marshall still joining us again this week. And we've got Dan, also known very lovingly in the community as Todd in Discord.
Todd has arrived.
He is here. All right. So my plan for today is the first half of this little live stream. We are going to really focus on these three gentlemen and learn a little bit about them. So if you guys have specific questions for these guys, not necessarily related to Townstar at first, shoot those. I'm going to try to watch the chat so that we can get these questions answered. And we're going to kind of just let them tell us about their greatness. And I know that makes them feel uncomfortable when I say it like that, but it's really, really true. Like, they are pretty amazing dudes. The Todd's like, I know. I got this, guys. All right. So, do you want to do a brief introduction for people who maybe missed last week, or maybe they're brand new, or they're popping in the stream on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook and they don't know anything about you? Give your name and title and like a brief description of what you do for Townstar, and then we'll get really into it. Elliot.
Sure.
Go first.
Okay, I'm Elliot Cannon. I'm old school AAA video game director. I've been around. I was one of the original guys at Epic. We did Unreal and Unreal Tournament. Worked on the Crisis franchise over in Germany. Worked on the last Doom reboot. Worked on Dungeon Defenders 2. And I joined Gala much earlier this year to take over Townstar so Mike can focus on Miranda. So between the two of us, that's what we're doing. So I'm directing a Townstar team. And yeah, that's me, man, in a nutshell. Old school MMO PvP player, motorcycle rider, and wannabe comedian. That's me.
Yes, he is pretty funny, to be fair. Side note, we also are live on Theta. If you're into crypto, which you probably are if you're around, you earn crypto just for watching. So you might as well pop over there. If you've not made an account, do that. We stream over there too. Thanks for owning in the chat, reminding me that we're there. And Warren, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Warren Marshall. I'm the art director on Townstar. I have a couple of decades of AAA game development experience. I started out as a level designer / programmer, and I got into art and all that kind of along the way. I've worked on Fortnite and Gears of War, the Unreal Tournament series. I did contracting on We Happy Few and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and so on and so forth. And I'm here now, just having a good time learning about the crypto space and getting used to the intensity of this team.
I would say that's a good word for our team. We are intense, but we always have a good time. And I like that you're both name dropping. Next up on the list, Dan the Todd. Tell us a tiny bit about yourself before we really get into it.
Only a tiny bit. Let's see. Well, definitely new name is Todd. Thank you, chat. Love it. Unlike these two legends, though, whose games I've all played, I actually had a background in advertising and marketing. Been doing that for 10 plus years. Good amount of brands, but always kind of did some interest in game jams with friends and finally got the opportunity. So if you like what you see on Gala, on Townstar, it is a pleasure and an honor as the lead UI designer, and looking forward to many, many more contributions.
Yes, that was excellent, guys. All right, so we're getting people rolling in, watching now, and getting more people in the chat. If you guys are watching, we'll be taking some questions about the guys at first, and then later about games and anything that you might have random questions about a little later in the stream. If you're watching anywhere, join us in Discord. It's galagames.chat, and if you've not popped in before, you should do it. It should be on your list of things to do today. It's an amazing community. Everybody's awesome. Once you pop in, try to find that Townstar chat, and that's where we're hanging out today. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is ask a question, and then let each of you guys kind of answer it so that we can learn a little bit about you. So what I want, well, actually, I also want to make sure we give Dan plenty of time because I know he's like prepared some stuff because he's Dan, and that's how he's going to roll. So I want to make sure.
Cannot confirm that, but
He's
time will tell.
mildly prepared. He's mildly ready for something. All right. So my first question is going to be like a general question, like why games? Like, was this your first choice essentially? Like, why are you getting into games? Was it something that you wanted to do as a kid? Was it always art? Like, I know Dan and Warren are more on the art side, but I know Elliot's got some of that background too, and I know he's a great writer. So we're going to each take turns telling us, like, why did you choose this, or did it choose you? Starting with Elliot.
With me? Oh, good
Yeah.
Lord. I was a neighborhood dungeon master when that stuff first came out as a little kid. And so I was the guy designing all the dungeons, and I was doing all the drawings and using stupid crayons to color them in, trying to make them look as cool as commercial stuff. And from there, I went into architecture, which is the closest thing you could do to building a dungeon without getting arrested. And did that for about 10 years. And when architecture switched over from manual drafting into using computers, I was like, cool, because I already had a Atari 2600. I was a big coin-op player. I got a computer to get AutoCAD, and I put games on it immediately, which were actually Myst and Doom. And it's very funny because over the course of my whole career, I got a chance to actually work at Cyan on real Myst, a real-time version of Myst, and I got to work on the reboot of Doom years later. So it's obviously destiny. But when you're a big kid like me at heart, no matter how old you are, you love playing games with your friends, no matter what genre it is. I mean, just anything related to them, to me, is just totally fun. It's a really awesome field to be in. You can go to college for it now and get a degree even. So yeah, that's how I got my big break. Little kid that never grew up, and that's basically my tale.
I can attest to that. He's definitely a little kid who's never grown up. You're super fun to work with, Elliot. You know that I love it, and I love your energy all the time too. It's awesome. All right, Warren, why gaming?
That's a fun question. Like when I was growing up, I was pretty heavily into my Commodore 64. We had one, and I learned how to code on that. I had aspirations then of making games. I obviously couldn't, but I had aspirations of it. But that got me kind of interested in the programming thing, and life kind of took me down a path where you ended up doing programming for some business application stuff, like software that runs truck dealerships and crap like that, which was great. But then during the time I was there, that's when the Doom games came out and Quake came out. And I started playing those, and through interacting with the communities, I figured out that people got paid to make levels and stuff in these games, which was really interesting, obviously, because I was starting not to like my job. And so, yeah, so I just started fooling around with that on the side, and got into it, and eventually, decided to go for it because I had a friend who was doing contracting work, doing level design, and so he got me hooked up there. After I bugged him several times, he got me hooked up there with the the head game designer, and they were like, yeah, we'll give you a shot at that. And that was the first time I ever made money working on games, and I was pretty hooked. I was there for a little bit. They hired me on full time, and then it's just been a roller coaster ever since then.
Did you have a tape drive in your Commodore? Was it a VIC or a 64?
64, and we started with a tape drive, and I nagged my dad for about 4 months, and we got a disk drive finally.
There's some people that are probably younger than us. Explain to them what a tape drive is and what did it do.
You probably heard of a cassette tape. So basically, what it was a big, like a cassette player, and you put the tape inside of it, and it would record programs to it, using I'm actually not sure how it actually did it, but it stored the stuff on the tape, and you would load and save from the tape. You had to fast forward, to the program you want, or rewind when you wanted to load it again. Screwed up all the time, was super slow, and it was just a train wreck.
It was a train wreck. A buddy of mine did a game in machine language, and we did it on a Commodore VIC, which like little crappy little pixels when two computer screens were like 240 by 320 or some ridiculous resolution. Is horrible. But those things are the only reason I wear this stupid headset is because the other one that's really cool that I kill people with is it doesn't blend with the silly background. Yeah. So shout out to Commodore 64. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for these terrible computer companies, right? What about Dan? What's his story?
I love learning too. So as for the community, like we spend a lot of time together, all of us. We're a very close team. We meet every morning. So we have a lot of little chats. Like it's really like, even though we're all separate, we're always together. Like I really do feel like we're always together. It's a really wonderful dynamic and I love it. All right, to Dan. Hey Dan, why games?
Why games? I mean, short answer is because they're awesome, and apparently I was good at it growing up. Um, but the long answer, though, is that I just worked in advertising and marketing, but on my free time, I would do illustrations, motion graphics, like jams with friends, and I was always told you should get into this, you should try this, and I put it off, and I put it off, and finally. Thankfully, one night I'm just looking for the next big thing, and I saw Gala, and it hooked me. I just drinking the Kool-Aid. It is just a blast. Like I could take up the entire AMA talking about it, but it's just a very rewarding, field, and I feel it's kind of the only medium that could tell a story, but also be interactive, and the advancements. It's just like to me fascinating. So. Love, love, love it.
Excellent. Yay. All right. So we're going to go right into another question, unless something has sparked in any of you. Like, y'all good? All right. All right. So now I do want to get into a little bit more of each of your guys' backgrounds. Now we kind of know, like, why
Mine's
games.
just a video.
Not your background. But Ching, I should have had my, like, we'll give this to Paul later, who Paul is behind the scenes making everything look good for us, and helping, and you can't hear him or see him, but he's making this all happen for you guys. So shout out to Paul, even though a lot of you don't know who that is. Woo. So yeah, to go into the next one, let's talk a little bit about each of, like, maybe jobs that you've done that are, like, impressive. You don't have to tell me about, like, waiting tables unless you feel like that has molded you in some way. But what are some recent jobs that you've had that you feel like maybe that's why Gala was like, this guy seems pretty good, maybe we should give him a shot, and went ahead and hired you? So we'll take turns again going around our little circle party that we have today. So Elliot, what were you doing before this?
Actually, Warren and I worked together at a defense contracting company called Leidos, and we used the Unreal Engine and photogrammetry to make an exact per pixel copy of the MC-12 Liberty ACC ISR aircraft for the 16th Air Force. If you can look that up, it's real. It's a twin turboprop aircraft that 2 airmen sit in the back with a long-range camera and other guys listening to intelligence stuff. We built the entire thing in Unreal. We had a young team of super talented young people doing all the work, and they would use VR training so airmen would get into the aircraft and do all their procedures and everything without actually having the airplane at their base. So I got Warren snatched out of the game industry because I knew he was good, and we needed someone that could come in there and direct these young people, like how to use Blender and how to do these things properly. So yeah, we did that together for about almost a full year, and it was pretty fun stuff. I'd done defense consulting for a couple of years. I took a break from the game industry because it's just the same old cycle over and over and over again. We can talk about that later. But yeah, that's the last thing that me and Warren did together. It was a lot of fun, actually. The photogrammetry stuff, Epic ended up buying it, and now they own them now, don't they? As I remember correctly, Warren, do you remember?
I think so. They own one of those companies anyway.
In fact, the United States government wouldn't be allowed to use the Unreal Engine unless I had convinced them, and we did all the paperwork for them. So if you ever see any other defense contractors doing all the Unreal Engine stuff, well, they can thank me without I don't get a cut of it. So
that's crazy. I totally didn't know that you guys were doing that together before.
Oh, we did all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, it was nuts. It was fun.
It's like you were besties even before we were all besties.
We were a spy team. We both have clearance and everything.
That's crazy. Yeah. So you guys, I am feeling this too. Those in the community all like, oh my God, I can't believe it. All right. So Warren, we know that you were working with Elliot before this. Tell us some more about the cool things that you have done up to now without me saying the wrong words.
Well, it's kind of funny because, like, most of the cool stuff I've done, it was Epic Games. I was there for 16 years, and that was a large chunk of my career. And so that's all the Gears of War, Fortnite, all that kind of jazz. I had tons of fun after leaving Epic doing freelancing for about 6 years. That was a blast. It's a little more stressful, obviously, but It's one of those things where having worked at Epic for so long that it opened up a lot of doors for me, which was great. Or at least kept them open and people kept talking to me instead of just saying no. Yeah, and the Leidos thing was kind of fun with Elliot. I actually, this is kind of going way back, but I actually had contact with Elliot back when I first started doing video games back at Legend Entertainment on the Wheel of Time game. They were one of the first licensees for Unreal, and Elliot was there at that time, and he was. There was a mailing list, and they would answer questions that we had and jazz like that. And Elliot would respond to questions. So technically, I had worked with Elliot way back, like 20-something years ago.
Oh yeah, that Wheel of Time at E3 was like 1998, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I know that was a long time ago. It was fun stuff though. That was back in the days when we build games out of BSP. Look that one up, kids. It's all static meshes and stuff nowadays. So yeah, that was cool.
Exactly.
That Wheel of Time game was really interesting. It was a game where you could set up traps and stuff for the other player and things. It had a lot of really interesting ideas. Are way ahead of its time. It was really cool, really neat stuff. And they added a lot of cool stuff to the engine and everything.
Yeah, the game had a lot of fun features, and it came out like the same week as Quake 3 or something. So it really didn't stand much of a chance of getting the multiplayer crowd's interest. But it really was a good game.
Everyone would do rocket jump and railgun the devil out of each other around that time frame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, guys. So it's true. Now I'm feeling like I'm not good. I know we're going into Dan next. So Dan, we know you're amazing, but now I need some facts. I need the receipts. I need to know what you've been doing before this.
Back it up.
I want to see all the stuff.
Well, I got one cool job story though, even before I was out of school, that I have to plug because I think it was one of the best jobs I've ever had, and that was selling Dippin' Dots at a local mall. I took so much of those damn things
Amazing.
with me. Made root beer floats, mixed up all 8 flavors. I think I gained like 20 pounds, but it was worth it. But industry related, I think the coolest job that I've had, I get to flex a little bit, kind of tough with, again, these two here. Pointing. All right. Is working at for Nissan of North America. So we got to play with cars all day and go to the test tracks and hear the engines and see what's happening and go into all the affiliate sponsors they had. So Gran Turismo was one of them. We had like events similar to what you see here, big, gigantic creative. We worked on several websites that were not just North America, which was the primary, but like worldwide. So that was awesome exposure to, get that feedback. But also The Voice, never got to meet Gwen Stefani. I'm still waiting for that. But it was just a lot of cool things though. I had a Honda at that time, which is sacrilegious, but it was definitely cool to, get to see all those awesome GTRs lined up and what they would do each year.
So what did you do exactly there? Besides listen to the cars and go play with them.
He waved the flag for them to go.
Exactly.
You wore a bikini and you were like, woo!
Yeah, I had to wear the
hail, all that
shorts and everything. So primarily be in charge of the Choose Nissan website. And that was great there because there's like always a promo, and I know that sounds kind of cheese, but we would do things with Disney and Star Wars, and that was just awesome. They would send us like Stormtrooper helmets, which we would fight over, or host us for movie nights, which then Heineken would be involved. So just being able to work on the website, the branding, kind of like one-off projects for different regions of the country. It was kind of like a motley crew of creatives that we really had no limits. So, long story short, a bunch of web stuff.
Sweet. Sounds about like what you're doing now, but it's way cooler here. So definitely
it's a lot cooler.
I will get you. All right. So you guys, we've got a little bit of time before we hit the halfway mark. We're flexible, but I do want to get some questions answered, talk a little bit about other things that we're working on in case people missed other things. But Dan, are there other things that you would like to share? Were there things that you wanted to talk about? I know the community really wants to get to know Todd. I keep calling you Dan.
Pictures.
It's my bad. Your name is there.
Show them your pictures, dude.
Show us some of your pictures.
I mean, which ones though? There's so many, and I don't know.
I know.
Just show all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, do it.
Paul, we got to queue up those photos.
Paul's ready. He's always
Good.
ready. I can tell. I sense
Tell
it.
it, you guys.
You know what?
Do you want to do that at the end?
Thing though, because let me just set this up because it's honestly a huge props to the Discord, and I will always plug them. We recently did the haunted house for Town Star, and that was an awesome collaboration with everyone here involved and many more. But the NFTs that we did really took it to a new level, and the reception, we did not expect that. So, with that said, it's not going to be necessarily a leak, but a vision of how we see things moving forward with Townstar NFTs. We want to add motion, we want to add personality. We really do want to just go all out. You know, we hear you guys, we know what you want. You guys work just as hard purchasing and scooping these up. We want to make it worth your time. So I cannot say thank you again so much. It's like literally life changing to be able to be involved in this. So there's our boy Puddles. Just a vision of things to come. So
Now, where's that going to go, dude? Tell him.
oh,
tell
man, I mean, Warren, I'm gonna
You really want some things.
Tell them your
over to
ideas.
you.
That's cool. They're cool ideas, man. These guys are these people are with us every step of the way. Tell them the ideas.
Yeah, so you know, just a comment. I know there's the ideas of new characters. I'm not going to disclose any, but there's also existing ones that we feel really have a lot of potential to just go further. And Puddles is clearly a fan favorite. Personally, one of mine too. Nicole is quickly in second, maybe first now, and we just like really want to do that. Just like offer the best quality, and these characters now. Thanks to everybody involved, just have so much personality. I think it's a shame or a disservice for it to be static. Like we can tell stories.
It's like a personal mission that we've gone on. Like with Dan kind of driving it forward because he always insists on putting animation in everything, and so it's just kind of become the normal now. Like everything we do, so these things aren't cheap. And if you're going to spend your money on these things and have them sitting in your wallet and you're looking at the images, they should look good. They should look high quality, and it should feel like a premium item. And that's really what we're aiming at. And we're hoping to even go back to the older stuff and retrofit it with animations and get it all looking slick, time permitting.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah. Wait, let me go put that in the game. I'll be right back. I'm joking.
No, and like literally though, you guys tell us. We listen, we look.
Show them more pictures. That's only one. You gotta have more than just one picture.
Oh man.
What else you got to give Paul up there?
Where's the emoji? Keep going.
Like Dan was just saying, you guys, we really, really do. Our entire Townstar team and the rest of Gala Games in general, we listen to you guys. We hang out and chat. Even if people aren't saying words all the time, we are reading what your thoughts are. If someone sees it and they're not necessarily a part of the team where there's maybe a complaint or a suggestion, someone else will bring that complaint or suggestion to the correct team. So it's always on our radar. I know sometimes it feels like things aren't being implemented fast enough, but we can't snap our fingers. We don't have the magical juice to do that. So we are doing as many things that we can all the time. And this is just one of those really great examples with the guys wanting to like revamp things and make those NFTs more valuable to you. So they're not like Warren was saying, just a static, old, boring image. And there are like when Townstar first started forever ago, like a year ago now, they were very basic static images, and so it's likely we're gonna like really make those shine for you guys a lot better. And there's a lot of really fun, exciting things to come. Dan, what else you got for us?
Hurry up!
I'll say this: when I come back next time, I'll have more to show.
You have more pictures.
We do have the Halloween haunted house and NFTs,
cool.
And these are just like. They're so spooky we can't get the full thing in. They might scare people, but it is gonna. Those were insane. It was six, a series of six. Each of them were separate. Again, amazing collaboration, and that kind of like set the gear that we stay in now. And I can tell you, you can record this. We're gonna do nothing less than that. So. It is on. So if you bring back next time, I will gladly show more. But everyone in Discord knows I don't make my leaks easy.
Have we ever told the story of the Haunted Mansion set and the whole progression of how it came to be?
I don't
Tell
think
it. It's
so.
a
Not
cool
on a live
story. It's a
stream. Yeah,
very
do
cool
it.
story.
That's a very cool story. So basically, we were brainstorming. I think we were about a week into October at that point, and we were trying to think. And someone brought up, "Hey, we should do something for Halloween." So we're like, "Yeah, we should do something for Halloween." So we all jumped in a meeting, and we were kind of just talking it through. And this idea of some sort of a haunted house that could get stuck on the map and be earning town coin and that kind of stuff, and have a little functionality attached to it. And then I went back to my level design roots, because we always work in modular pieces. That's kind of how games are built. You have like walls, you have doors, you have windows, that kind of jazz. And you stick them all together like Legos. So we thought, well, why don't we break this mansion idea up into chunks? We'll have a tower, a porch. You've seen the set. So those pieces could be mixed and matched to put together however you want them to be put together. So it turns out that our primary engineer, Mark Walsh, he's also an artist. So he put together. So yeah, so I worked with him directly, and we put together a bunch of meshes really quickly. It was like one day. I think we had most of the set laid out, and then he made some textures for it, and then we took the extra step of sending those out to our contractors that we work with, and they did up some really beautiful sketches based on those models.
Shout out to Brazil. These guys are
Huge shout
Brazil.
out to
They're very,
Puga.
very,
Yeah.
very,
Puga
very good.
killed it. They always
They're
do.
fantastic. Yeah, they kill us every day pretty much. But that Halloween set was rather exceptional. They did great work. They delivered that, and Dan had a whole plan for just going crazy with it. Just take their sketches, drop them in, haze and bats and everything else flying everywhere. So that all came together in well under 2 weeks. It was probably 10 days from start to finish, and it was a huge hit. So it just goes to show, when you get a collaborative team together and just start slamming stuff together, it can really turn out nicely.
Yeah, sometimes you have to just go for it really quickly. The first idea is the best idea, and just run with it. Because once you get into the idea and start making it and developing it and thinking about functionality, and you got a bunch of creative people in a good mood, they're talking about it, it's just going to get better and better. So sometimes, in even some of the games I've worked on, some of the best stuff that's ever happened has happened because people were in the mood to take a chance on something and run with it, as opposed to being like overthinking or overanalyzing and bringing it down. Sometimes you just got to go for stuff, and you can always at the end say, well, it's not good enough, let's not do it. Right? That's one thing people tend to forget, is in the game industry, you can put all this time and energy making stuff, and you can look at the end and go, you know what, I don't think it's good enough, let's try something else. But while you're doing that, you still got better.
Totally agree. I mean, like, we're all gamers, so we all love looking at aesthetically nice things and having things affect the game
Shooting
in a positive way. So I think I speak for all of us when I say, like, we could not sleep if we did not really feel that this is the best work that we can give. And honestly, Carrie, just to shoot it back though, I mean, my favorite part of this project was getting the screenshots and DMs, what people would purchase and lay out in their town. Like, some creative people here, and still send me them. You can flood them. I don't care.
He really does. I think he prints them out and puts them on his walls at his house.
Bare wall, we gotta fill up, guys.
It's true.
I love that.
All right, so we're gonna go into a few questions. If you guys have questions about things about Townstar, it'll probably trigger some things, and we'll let you know things we're working on. There may be accidental leaks here and there about different things that we have going. We are super busy and have so many things to do before the end of this year on our plates right now. I will say, I know that a lot of you have been asking and wondering about it because you've noticed this Townstar bot doing weird things in the Discord lately. We're not going to really talk about that, but I will let you know that starting next week, you'll have more information. So we're not really ready to let anything out of the box quite yet, but keep asking questions. And we'll try to get a way to, maybe next week's AMA, we'll be able to include some more on that, assuming we do it toward the end of the week. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, as for now, just watch that bot, see what he talks about. I don't know what he's doing. Is a secret right now, I guess. All right. So if I scroll up here, just to see, I don't, some of these questions, that's a stupid question.
So many good questions.
I know. All right, so I had seen one and then there were just pictures everywhere. So the roadmap for Townstar, there's no like really written in stone thing. So at this point, and I guess we
There
could have
is on
Elliot
my
answer
computer.
too. There, okay. Elliot has a roadmap, of course. Like we have an idea.
Leak.
From my perspective, we want to make it awesome. So like we're really working with what we had, and now we're getting more team members, which is super great. So we're getting more developers in, we're getting more people to help out with stuff. So stuff should start to speed up considerably.
I can give a little sneak peek of what the
Yeah, I was
plans
gonna say,
is.
anybody else?
Well, it's a live game now. It's doing well. Now it's time to infuse more fun, fix more challenges. There's lots of promises made in the past that we've got to do. When Gala Chain comes live, it's going to open the doors. Like the door just go open, all these cool things we can do to make the game more challenging, more interesting, more exciting, more fun, tap into more crypto things, cross promotions, and then even just the basics of adding more crops, adding more formulas, add more things you can do. Fishing is a hot topic right now for us. We're even thinking about having it where you can have auto fishing or tactile fishing where you control things and do stuff like that. So that we're never out of ideas. We just need more help. We just need more people on the team to do it. So the
Yeah.
roadmap for next year is about content and features. So content release with feature release at the same time. So you always have content to digest, whether you just play, not just NFTs all the time. I mean, the NFTs always have a place to advance the game. There's something you can collect, play with it, sell it, whatever you want to do with it. That's part of the whole space that we're in, right? But we got to advance the game by adding a lot more content to it, and then we got to add features that would need to be there. And there's a huge list of promises we have that we got to fulfill, and we got to do all that. And I'm really looking forward to 2022. Gallivers is going to be really awesome, but 2022 we're going to be able to hyper focus on a nice, clean, comfortable rhythm that's fast and frenetic and really jamming to get this game rolling. That's a sneak peek.
Excellent. I like it.
That sounds like that's a great fishing character right there. We'll just use him.
So, and we've let some sneak peeks go a little bit this week inside of our Gala Gold chat. So for those of you who may be new and just watching, we have a special tier of, I don't know, knowledge, I guess. You can purchase Gala Gold, and that gives you access to a few special channels that nobody else gets to see unless they're also in gold. Chat's always popping in there. We do sneak peeks and we do special announcements, and you get early access to certain things. So we have been dropping a little bit of stuff like that. I think we've already said, so this isn't really a leak of any way, but we are getting ready to get our almanac page set up on the website, and there's going to be some really cool artwork and things to go with that. That's where I know everybody's been asking about this, where like past leaderboards, past meta changes and things like that are going to live in that section on the website. And I know it feels like it's taking forever, and it feels like that to me too, but we are working on all these things. There's a lot of moving parts to get that going. I'm writing down a note right now from somebody who said, any chance we can get a change log? I love it. So I'm going to talk to the devs. Every time we've been doing quite a few. Yes. I might do one just in Discord, like a channel, so that I can say, okay, we're going to do a reset, and these are the things that are going to update. Because what I'm kind of doing now is I'm doing like the most important thing, but not necessarily a whole list of them. And Mark, who is our head engineer, is that a correct way to say that is Mark currently? He has been doing really good about making a list for us, and I could essentially put that into a change log so you guys know exactly what to look for, what works and what doesn't work. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, we could do that. Can I jump in real quick? Because Mike Cross, the guy that did our website for us, and he does all the freehand sketches you've seen of Mr. Puddles and Gooner. If you've seen him, he's amazing. He designs a lot of the characters in the very initial phases. And so he's been working and toying around behind the scenes on his own time, kind of making an almanac that lists all the competitions, all the top winners, all the rules that were in place. I think a really neat idea, Bill, and what you just mentioned would be to take that almanac and then integrate it into like a meta change for this week so people can read it and see some of the details about it as a one-stop shop, as opposed to trying to find it on Discord. I mean, sharing on Discord's cool because you're on the front line of information all the time, like get it in gold and all this kind of stuff. But I think having an almanac would be really nice so someone can see what's happening.
Yeah, so we'll put that on the list. I like it. I think that's a really good idea so we can see. And again, there's going to be lots more changes coming. I know that this is a little frustrating, and we are communicating now and trying to only push those big changes that'll cause the, crazy stuff to happen right before the new weekly competition starts. So I know that still is kind of affecting people, but I am doing announcements. There is. So that's a leak that we were going to leak a little later because no one knew about this except for one person. Look at him leaking. All right, guys, there's a meta change
Well, it's
coming
their
for
game.
next week.
They're gonna find out
Finally.
about it anyway.
Yeah.
Clickbait.
So we're working on, there'll be a little post with a little kind of story that goes along with it, as well as what the changes will be. We're going to keep those new meta changes for 2 weeks is the plan. And hopefully we'll start to be able to get back into that where we switch some things up so that it's not the same old game. I know that it's exciting to be able to change up what your plans are and just do something different and try to do something new. So we have been hearing you. Thank you for being patient with Play to Earn. And we're finally ready to get back into that. And I think it's going to be really fun to start doing that again. I'm excited too. I'm with you guys. I think this time I might not be horrible. Like I might be okay at this new change too. So I'm excited. So yeah, we'll probably push that with the list of the changes on Monday. So Tuesday is game start for the weekly competition. So that way you guys will have a little chance. For those of you I know like to get planning a little early. So we're going to shoot for a Monday to get that information out to you. So yeah. So another question that Elliot already answered was, are we going to be doing Christmas themed NFTs? And he said maybe.
I hope so.
He said maybe.
Yes.
We like holidays around here. It's fun
Not
to make
necessarily
things
Christmas,
fun.
more like winter.
Ooh.
Yes, I would say winter is a little more accurate.
There's
not that I'm
new
leaking
crops,
anything.
new buildings, new decorations, all kinds of fun stuff. Trying to top last year. Last year was pretty cool. We're trying to top that a little bit as best we can. Don't have a lot of time to do it. We've been kind of rushing around kind of crazy because we had Tesla Coil done like 2 months ago, but we wanted to go back in there and add some more functionality at the last minute. Then the P2E thing launched, and then we pivoted real quick to do the Halloween thing, which Warren told you to tell about that like in 10 days, put together the whole Halloween stuff, which is kind of fun. And then now we have a different people on our team. They're like, whoa, we could do this together really fast. So then we had to pivot to get ready for Galaverse because lots of cool, fun things to happen and make that really special for everyone. And then we also want to do stuff for the winter season. So we've been pretty crazy.
Yep, that's a good word.
It's been pretty nutty. I mean, prior to that was like, let's make Mr. Puddles. That'll be cool. 1 month. No. We're doing like 7 things a month now. It's really nutty.
Yeah,
so.
It is. It's a lot fast. I love it. I love the speed.
The meta changes. Mal and a bunch of other people have been collaborating with the community and come up with some really interesting meta changes to make it. They've been talking to some BTP people and a bunch of other folks. So again, a bunch of different ideas. We talked about it in-house, something that'll make it interesting, kind of capture some of the excitement you had in the May mayhem. But yeah, once you find out about it on Monday, you can all strategize on what to do.
Yeah, it'll give you a good day for that. So awesome. Again, Elliot answered this in the chat, but are there going to be spinoffs for Townstar?
It'd be cool to do that eventually, but right now there's just so much potential with this game. We got to take it much further. I mean, it's really not.
I'd say it's not done. Yeah, that's why I know we make fun in the chat, and that's fine because I'm an easygoing, fun kind of gal. Yeah, and it's true though. Like we really are. We are still in the process of making this perfect. It's not there yet, and there's so many things that are going to be awesome to come. So like I accept the beta joke because it's true and funny, so I don't mind it at all. But it's going to be awesome.
True. But good things come to those who wait, and I'm an impatient person, but I could tell you it is worth waiting for.
Yeah, for sure. Well, all right, go ahead, Warren.
Well, to be fair, I want to say if you want like an industry example, I believe Fortnite still labels itself as early access.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Sure, it is. Yeah. Okay.
Well, so some things just never quite get done.
Hardest never done.
That's fair. I mean, if you're still always updating, that's like, okay, so I play Animal Crossing. Everybody already knows that. But like, it's like version, it says like, hey, it's like the version is always up there and it's constantly updating and doing new things. So like, it's kind of like that.
You played on a Nintendo Cube?
I did when I was in college a million years ago, but now on a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. I remember that thing when it came out. You take your memory chip to your friend's house and stick it in their Nintendo Cube and go there and trade.
And we would share.
Yes, with each other.
It's very true. I remember these things. I'm not gonna lie.
We need to have that kind of stuff happening in Townstar. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Without having to go to your friend's house.
Yeah, no, I think that being able to lend and share things is on the horizon. So I'm not worried. I'm not too worried about that. We got things in the works. All right. So win Sin City NFT and Townstar. Win.
Warren, why don't you handle that one?
Well, art-wise, it's complete. We're just waiting on some tech details to get ironed out, I believe, but that should be any day now, I think.
Yeah,
really soon. It's a code redemption thing, which is a little different than just making an NFT, minting it, and going bam, right?
Yeah. So there are little issues on the platform. On the Frank Miller side, they're having some issues with getting it so that it can get into your wallet so that you can have that NFT. They're still working on that. And while that's happening, which happens to be pretty good, the platform team on our side is getting ready to implement that into the game. We thought that we had a little more time, and we didn't know they were going to be sent out quite so quickly, because it did say 6 to 8 weeks after the sale ended. And y'all got them in like 2. So woo, that's some
I remember
fast
James
stuff.
message. James was hanging out. Irrelevant was hanging out with Robotron in San Francisco, and he messaged us on a Sunday. Said, "Hey, can we do this?" And we're like, "Oh gosh, okay." So Warren actually did all the modeling himself. And I mean,
Over a weekend.
you're taking Frank Miller's high quality crystal thing, and you're making it. You can't use that polygon count in Townstar.
No.
You know, farmers are just like drop dead from frame rate death. And
Exactly.
that's maybe pretty funny. We should do that. Yeah, so he knocked that out himself, and then you get the shader issue to deal with because it's translucent crystal, but it's not really. So you got to make it look right, because you have to notice that the Vox House is kind of supposed to be like almost like a Funko doll kind of packaging thing with transparency and plastic on it. So there's a lot of challenges he had to do to solve that, to make that really cool and work. And then all the details. What'd you do? Knock the whole thing out in about 2 days of hardcore AAA model skills? That was really cool. Oh
Yeah, it
wow,
took about 2
Eddie has
days.
that. Is that your picture? Oh, is that yours? Answer that. Does he have that, or does he just take a picture from the web?
That's probably his. That looks like it's in real life. And right, he's talking. Warren, he's in the chat. If you weren't seeing
yeah, I'm
it.
looking at Discord. Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah. No, honestly, I mean, that took about 3 days, I guess, total work. And it's because I lost a day getting rat-holed on the trench coat, going in a bad direction. I had to reset and try something else, and then it got done.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that kind of cross-promotional stuff. I mean, if it's done with a little bit more heads up, it can be even cooler. So you other Gala people, give us more heads up, and we'll make it even cooler for you.
We'll make it amazing.
Oh, really? You just got it today? That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh yeah, they're coming in now.
Cool.
We got ours. Chris got his yesterday, so his came in the mail yesterday.
Oh, okay.
He's real excited. It's very big compared to the other crystals that, for those who have been around for a while, we have those as well, and it's a lot bigger, really heavy. Like, he handed it to me, and I was like, whoa. And it looks just amazing. I love how, like, there's his signatures in there engraved inside of it too. It's just, it's high quality, definitely amazing and worth it.
Can you hold it to the sun and like melt stuff? Or
probably I could probably pull it through and really.
I mean, what would Beavis and Butthead do with it if
ants.
you put them out in the backyard? On
That's
a sunny
yeah.
day?
I was thinking that too.
That looks heavy.
Murder some ants and spiders, probably.
Oh, Chris has all 3 of them. Wow, that's a collection.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was like we
Nice
have.
photo,
He won't not get them. He had to make sure he covered up that redeem code too,
We
so
need
nobody
a Mr.
try
Puddles
it.
crystal.
Darn.
We should have the
Oh,
community
he's so
tell us
cute.
which one.
What next?
Which Townstar character do you want to make in the same
Yeah.
level?
I think the collectibles are fun. I like the crossover. I think it's good. So this one I can answer. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, let me jump in for a second. I just dropped some shots of the in-game model into the behind-the-scenes channel. Maybe Paul can put them up on the screen just real briefly, so you can see what it's actually going to look like.
Yeah,
oh,
he's pulling it up
that's
real quick here.
Paul.
Yeah,
Paul
he's
in
on
our
it.
ear. He's got it. All right. So real quick, somebody asked when Alpha Fountain NFT rewards. So back in May, just to let people know who maybe don't know, I think I answer this question a few times a week still. We did remove the 100 Gala get 100 give 100 Gala. The reason behind that, if you've not heard before, is because back then Townstar was the only game. And so to get people to come join Gala, that was the only way we could really reward them, is to get them to play Townstar. But now we got tons of games coming to the platform. So we kind of needed to back up on that a little bit and open up so that we can work on what rewards might be in the future. So fountains are still a thing. They trust me. I fought for it. It's happening. I just put it on my list again today to remind people that we want to get those sent out. We have people working now currently on the rewards I know that we're 4 weeks behind on rewards for the weekly competition, but that should be coming to a close again soon. We have somebody new helping to work on that as well, and around that time I'm going to remind them that we need another round of fountains to go out to. So sit tight. It's still a thing. I know it's just been a long time. We've been really just heads down on play to earn on everything. Fun plans for Turkey Day?
In Townstar or in real life?
That's coming up soon in real life.
We don't get days off.
Yeah.
Hi.
We do not. This is Veterans Day, and we are here working for you, man. in America.
That's
That's a
true.
United States holiday. But yeah, no, we work all the time.
Yeah,
say,
so I don't know if
every
we'll have
day.
anything town starry for Turkey Day. We're focusing
Grocery
more
stores
on
ain't got
winter.
nothing on us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
for
there
real.
ideas? Maybe.
It's too much an American thing, you know what I mean? I mean, Town Star is an international game. People play this game for the Philippines, from Brazil, Poland, Germany, even Iceland and Reykjavik, Iceland. There's like one person that plays in Reykjavik, Iceland. I can see on the Authentics map. That it's crazy. It's people play all
Like
over the world.
that.
Japan, Korea. A lot of people in Korea, Russia, Dagestan, all over the place. Yeah, Africa.
Mhm.
Who cares about Thanksgiving?
Whoa, whoa.
Me-
It's a world game,
me.
dude.
Pecan
I like to eat
pie
my
for its
turkey.
pops. Worth
Yeah.
it.
All right, we've got a lot of good ideas that are coming in the chat right now, just to throw them out there into the space so we hear them. Fruit trees seem exciting still for people, maybe Gala apple trees specifically.
great
Maybe
idea.
doing a lot with that.
Oh yeah, it's a great idea.
People still win pizza. Everybody wants that. They're excited to hear
Yes.
fishing is on the list still, of
Yes.
course. And everybody's pretty excited about that one. So it's happening, friends. It's
I'd love
happening.
to know from the community, one of the ideas, everything in the game is like place a building down, automatic AI does anything. Would you like it to be a situation where you had like, a fishing pier and a fishing wharf and a fish market and a fish restaurant or something like that? It's all in water for freshwater and saltwater. Would you want to put something down and have it just automatically go do stuff and earn at a certain rate? Or would you like to actually have the ability to actually control something and earn faster by actually playing? Would that be entertaining to you? Think about that, and maybe we'll chat about it sometime.
Think
and
about
see
it.
think about
Vote
it.
in
Think
chat.
about it. I can't decide. Please design the game for us.
Help us, help you. All
Because
right,
it
this
would
is
require more you controlling stuff, and you may not want to do that
Yeah.
because most of Town Store is very automatic mode once you get it set
I
up. But it'd be
do.
neat to see what people think. They want to be able to control things, have things go faster. So that'd be neat to hear.
I like playing more, but I'm
I
a
do too.
weirdo that likes to play Animal Crossing. We know. So, so this is a suggestion that I know that has been put on the list a quadrillion times because I've put it on that list. Wind, bad weather, tornadoes,
I saw that.
thunderstorms.
Yes.
Like I love this
Love that
idea.
idea.
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
how hard it would be to implement. Or
I
if
think
we
it's an
could
awesome
match it up
idea.
with a weather channel, like so that if
It-
you're in a certain part of the world, it matches. So like if there's a hurricane, then there's a hurricane in the game that day.
And it
Like,
kills
is that
everyone.
possible?
All the roofs blow off and stuff. There's just
Yeah, maybe not all the roofs were blowing up.
okay.
Well, I mean, things like that are possible, but I think you also have to, like rain and snow and that kind of jazz, and like, it's overcast, there's wind, that kind of stuff. But stuff that actually destroys things gets to do a weird kind of game
Maybe that's in
design
hardcore
issue.
mode. Maybe hardcore.
Yeah, like
mode.
you're
You could lose
losing-
it all in a bad day.
I feel like you're losing progress to the RNG, so
roguelike.
it's like, I mean, if people are cool with it, then that's fine. But generally,
That
that's
leads
a
me to a
balance
question:
nightmare.
win hardcore mode.
Win
I like
hardcore
the
mode.
idea. I like the idea of splitting up the servers to where like you have a beginner server, an intermediate
Yes.
server, and like hardcore, and maybe having different rewards for these because of how hard it is. I love it.
Yeah.
I know that we don't know when,
Not
but
soon.
it's on the list, you guys.
Snow biomes would be good. Yeah.
Ever-growing
Yeah.
list.
There's so many.
Um,
I mean, as you can see, there's so many millions of ideas and things we could do. It's just crazy.
Do we have plans currently for jet fuel? I know it's been on since the beginning and
moment.
it's never been used. Okay,
Yeah,
so
not at the
I
moment.
didn't
Sorry,
think
that
so.
was
I
not a
hadn't really
positive
heard.
answer for you. It's the truth, though.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just didn't know either. So yeah. Information on any updates for target prioritization. Now I know that we've talked about this a little bit. What they're talking about, I assume, is when they've got workers all wasting their time going to one place instead of one worker
Yeah.
going to one and another.
Dumb
Any
AI.
thoughts on that? Yeah.
Absolutely, we recognize that. A lot of people reported some cool videos and sent me copies of the gameplay, actually, what's happening then. We knew about it too, so that's something that we could jump on for sure. It's the prioritization. That's the biggest challenge with game development, is you have this massive cloud of amazing, cool ideas you want to do, like a little kid. Then you have the huge list of things you need to do because it is a business at the same time. And then you have these things the game really needs to have happen next. And then in between, you have these little things that are messed up that you need to fix. So this is the engineer's life. How do you prioritize the crazy things that are creative? How to fix the things on a day-to-day basis and still have time to do the thing that's next? It's really tough. We have 2 engineers. 2. One of them's had a baby. He's
Amazing.
going to come back soon. We'll have 3. That'll be great. And we've got a young guy that just joined us too. So we technically have kind of 3.5 and 4 dudes on it. So it's a lot to do. If I had a couple more engineers, we could have one person just fix all the AI issues and one person else could do all the new UI changes and get ready for. There's just so much we could do. I need to keep campaigning internally for more people. So
And he does. He
You
fights
guys
for
should
you.
help me campaign for, say, Misha and team need more engineers.
It's true.
More
All
than
right.
the win engineers. That's the
This is win engineers. We need to make new memes for that.
yeah.
Win TS engineer. All right, so this is a good question. Chris would probably know the answer, but maybe one of us can help. Any examples of what type of potential play to earn challenges that are going to update right now? What we're doing is a daily challenge with 1,000 stars to do within the 24 hours. And we keep saying that there's going to be new ones. What might those look like? Any ideas, guys? I feel like Chris knows.
I'm sure Chris knows.
I don't speak for him, but I have ideas. I know that we pitched around internally. These are proof of concepts, but we have talked about different characters having missions, different durations, multiple missions at once. So we know like the possibilities are just endless. We're on the tip of the iceberg with what we have now. So Chris is a mad scientist with a pen, and I know he's just forming up something really, really good. So I am eagerly waiting for that as well. Got to get my town coin.
And we'll ease you in. We're not going to make them super hard at first. So like the 1,000 stars seems pretty doable, but we are going to potentially make it so the harder they get, the more stuff that you can earn and things like that. So we're really building into something cool.
I've mentioned that before. Ideally, like, once you get some time and do the system properly, ideally you have a situation where, hey, I've just started playing. Here's a way for me to play to earn. This is a pretty straightforward goal. I've got to learn to get to 1,000 stars. So someone first time playing, that's actually pretty tricky for them. Once they get past that threshold, they're going to want a bigger challenge. Being able to choose a number of, like, pick 3 and see if you can do 3, that would be a lot of fun. I mean, for me personally, I'd love to have like 25 or 21 of these things to choose from that have different reward structures that I can only claim on a Tuesday, and try to pick 3 that I could do just on Tuesday. And then I go for that and knock it out. And then the next day something different happens. I mean, that's kind of stuff is what a game is all about. You're controlling what you want to do, set your own personal goal, achieve it, and try if you can do it and outsmart the game and beat it with your own creativity and how smart you are. And that would be something I think would be fantastic for the game ultimately. Right now, we're in this growing phase where more people are starting to come to play. We have a first-time user experience thing we're working on too to make it more fun for people to learn how to play who don't know how to do it, who maybe don't hang out in Discord. So you have a lot going on, but we hear you on those things. We believe in it too.
Agreed. I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. All right. So here's a fun question. What about Jimmy and his pig?
Who?
So
No idea who you're talking about.
I don't know what you guys are even saying. I feel like
question.
somebody named that may have got abducted by aliens recently, and he's getting implanted with something.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, like that's
Alleged.
it feel like something like that happened.
More worried about
But we haven't heard from him for a while. We'll see what happens, I guess, with him. Somebody asked why Sin City NFTs if they're not game related, and I think that that's pretty easy answer. Gala Games, we are all interoperable together, and supporting other games and having other things playable in the other games that are on our platform is always going to be something that we like to focus on and make and give more value to the NFTs that you purchase. I mean,
Yeah, like Miranda skins was one of them. I mean, if you have all the Miranda skins, there's 10 packs of them. They have a 2.5% bonus to movement speed and production quality and things like that and speed. And if you get all 10 of them, there's going to ultimately be like a dragon familiar in Miranda's in Mike's game. And I think that stuff, that's been around for a little while. We'll probably always do that stuff. So I think it's a lot of fun.
I agree. I think that it seems like something that, like, I think it's really good. And again, it just gives everything value. I like it.
Totally.
It makes me pleased. All right. Collections. Okay. This question, I wanted to make sure it was a question because I can't tell. Sometimes there's no question marks. Collectibles under Townstar. Are there any plans to make a collectibles that exists just for Townstar, like the Gala Games Nifty Show commemorative or the CoinGecko anniversary? So I'm not 100% sure. Like, I think what he means is have the things that already exist currently as NFTs to also make them things in Townstar now that we have established that it can happen with the Frank Miller NFT. Does that make sense?
I hope we get to.
Yeah, so maybe like there'll probably definitely be more things in the future where we can do this. There's no plans right now that I know of.
Tune.
Like, yeah. to do that. And then somebody said, "Oh, how long will this be in beta?" And I answered, forever, as a comment. Until it is amazing and we will never know.
Well, it's just like, there's a difference between beta and like a living product, and Townstar is a living thing. We can always add more to it, always improve what's there. And so there's not a definable finish line. Like there's no like spot where you can say, okay, Townstar's done and stamp it and we're done kind of thing. It's just not a state the game will ever be in. So
yeah.
I mean, the answer is always like it'll always be in beta.
I will say that the bugs and the issues and things like that, there's probably an end in sight to that. When Gala Chain,
well,
when Gala Chain is up, I think that's going to help a lot.
If you look at any major MMO, they have bugs all the time. There's stuff that always happens. You add new content, they may create new issues. You got to fix them, clean them up, and that's why it patches them, server resets. And Townstar is a live game. That's basically how it runs. It's not a game you have on your local machine, play by yourself. I mean, it's playing in a browser anywhere around the world, so it's live. You're playing multiplayer, with anyone else in the whole world. So when you have a live game like that, it's always going to be constantly evolving and changing and improving and getting better. So I don't know. Beta is really more for like what a Call of Duty game, something that's been released and done, and you sold it, and you bought it, and it's the same copy that you had last year that you have this year or the 4 years before that. So it doesn't change. Those games aren't live. It's a different animal.
This is like, totally. It's different. And it's all new for everybody, especially with the blockchain aspect added in. And with you guys being here with us and giving us suggestions. Like, it's not like you got to do that for any of those other video games. It's not like they were listening to feedback from their community on things like that. Of course, they had testers and stuff, but this is a whole new animal, like you said. Here is a interesting question. Any plans for any kind of auto reward kind of things, like for Townstars, for example, receiving rewards at the end of a competition or after a couple of days or something like that, where like they just automatically come in? I assume they're saying without completing a daily, or somebody asked the question again. I don't know. Like, I feel like that we run into our law tank on that. And to give rewards, you have to do something. So I'd be like, I think law tank would come in and be like, Carrie, we can't just
when Christian gets back, because he just had a baby. When he comes back, I know he had a huge thing that he was working on, and when he gets a chance to crank on that some more, that will open a door for a lot faster turnaround times on the weekly competition rewards. Maybe the person's asking about that, because the weekly competitions are done manually now. Everything is cross-checked, and there's all kinds of software that's done to check behind the scenes. So, and someone monitors that and checks it. It's like being an air traffic controller. So maybe the person's asking about that. Not sure. You have to ask them to ask again in different words.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel I'm like, I don't even understand the question. Thought or direction on tiering weekly rewards by aggregate NFT power per player? I don't know what that means. Go.
Say it again.
Okay. Yeah. Any thought or direction on tiering weekly rewards by aggregate NFT power per player?
Not at the moment. No.
So
Mike's
always
had it where, and that's why the vision of that game has always been like, it's a competition. Go out there and beat the opponent. That's why the Dallas Cowboys beats the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's reasons for it. I mean, you probably heard Benefactor give you a sports analogy in the past. I mean, it's a competition. You got to step up to win that. We have cool plans for the competition next year too, actually, but I won't leak that.
Yes. That's so far away. If you leaked now, they'd be just winning me every second of the day of when it would be done. So there's a lot of stuff planned for this year and as well as next year. So I suppose when I say there's no official roadmap, it's just not official, but we've got big plans and we stay on top of things very well around here to do that. I'm gonna scroll super quick through the stream. Oh, doing the live stream with this graphical template looks really sharp. Shout out to Paul.
Yay.
Thank you again, Paul, for doing that. That's a good on you there. And shout out to Dan for the graphics.
That's right.
Todd.
This guy did
Todd. I don't know this Dan.
So what's this Todd stuff, dude? Tell me all about it.
How much time do we have left, Carrie, to talk about Todd?
Well, I'm going to scroll through to see if there's any big pending questions that I should like really get. And you talk about your Toddness and how Todd became about.
Talk about your Todditude.
Toddness. So, for those who don't know, one odd gent, and I'm just doing my thing, talking, and somebody just replies back and they say Todd. I didn't pay much attention to it because I didn't know what to say. And then somebody said, yeah, that's Todd. Todd said this. The next day, hey, there goes Todd. And I just said, you guys talking about me? Like, that's your name, isn't it? Todd Gent? And they go, oh, the one-odd gent. Yeah, it's Todd. Lo and behold, when they saw the name Dan, they were a bit upset. But I said, that is the alias I use to go out. It's still Todd. But
Now you're scarred for life.
I love the idea that they saw the name Dan and were bitterly disappointed.
They were. Got a little bit of heat. But,
Cracks me up.
Anyone at Galaverse, just say Todd.
Just Todd.
You should fight back against that nickname.
We can do some quick fire rapid questions here. Do we have plans for updating world maps, adding maybe new cities or more rivers and things, anything like that on our little roadmap that we have?
Not in the big roadmap right now. We did recently fix Korea, and it was all desert, and the Korean community made the map. Actually, they in a Korean AMA, their community made this really cool PDF that showed us what they'd like for it to look like, matching their geography with their important rivers and mountains and things like that. So we actually implemented that just for them. So maybe if your country's inaccurate, we can do yours too. I think that'd be fine.
Send us a message.
But to answer your question more directly, there's no plans to modify the map in any way right now. No, there's not.
Any plans for being able to specify what storage units hold? So you could have one storage unit holding wheat things, one storage unit holding just sugar rather than currently?
Item. Not as a core gameplay item. Yeah.
Okay. Halloween NFTs, once they go off sale, which we have not disclosed exactly when that will be. I've been telling people they're up for a while still. NFTs will always be playable in your town. You can't just remove a graveyard, you guys. That's very frowned upon, I have heard, in every horror movie. They're asking if we're going to bring those back for the ones that may not sell out at the end of the sale, or if they will be, what will happen to them. Any plans? I don't know if we've talked about it.
I don't actually know if we have plans specific for that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let the dead rust.
Yeah, so we haven't really decided on that. What will happen to those? You still have a chance right now to get those Halloween pieces and parts for the mansion, or 15 graveyards if that's your jam.
The thing I'll say is that I'm not the designer, but it does feel to me that selling them outside of Halloween seems wrong. So I think if you want to get them, you should get them now, and then they might come back next year
with maybe more fun things hooked inside of them.
Yeah, with more things, additionally.
Most definitely more.
Yeah, but you could even expand that set next year. Who knows?
It's really tough when they ask questions about stuff that's coming that you're doing already, but you don't want to tell them.
All right, so we got suggestions for wood NFTs. There might be something like that in the future. I know that there's lots of things in the game that you're like, oh yeah, that's not a thing, but this is. So those things are paid attention to and on our list of things to do still. I'm scrolling through. We might be ending it up. It's only a couple minutes over today. Oh, Chris did. I didn't even look, but a few examples of possible daily challenges for those listening and maybe not in Discord right now. He said you might, instead of doing just earning stars, you might have to sell 10 loads of flour, or save $100,000, or store 120 units of sugarcane. It could be anything like that rather than just the star thing. So those are great examples. Thank you.
Ones that make you figure out how to build the town in phases to achieve 3 or 4 goals along the way. Like start going towards, I don't know, like a uniform build and have to pivot over into cake or something like that. That would be very difficult to do. So ones that make you think about, that aren't just like brute force, like sell 1,000 wheat. I mean, come on, that's not, once you get it going, it's not that big of a deal. But those are the kind of compelling, fun challenges you want to add to the game. The thing that will be tricky is you also want the game to be approachable for people that are coming to it new, so they can kind of ease into it at the same time. So my gut instinct tells me that having tiered challenges that the person playing gets to pick and kind of strive towards would be the way to go with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And we are working on a way to bring in brand new people. So like first time users that are coming in, we're working on something that's going to make that a lot easier. We know that when it comes in, it's hard right now. And we know for you diehard Townstar people that you had to kill your town over and over and over and over again. And just everybody doesn't have that chutzpah. So we want to make it so that some people can really come back in and they don't have to do that quite so hard and can enjoy the game like you guys. I'm going to ask one final fun question and then we'll probably close it up for today. VR. is it possible that in the very even far distant future, we would be able to VR and walk around our towns in Townstar?
You could do it. We're not planning on doing it, but you could do it. I mean, you could do it with anything.
Like, you could do it, so you can
VR is
just-
not that big of a deal. I mean, the frame rates, it's not like you're being limited by the frame rate or the number of mesh counts and stuff like that. The poly counts on these meshes aren't that big. We aren't planning on doing it. So that's the part you're probably sad about, but it could be done quite easily. Yeah.
If just something like that though, like the obvious idea is you're down in the town and you're doing stuff, but
Yeah.
but the cooler thing is you can be in VR and be like the god type character. You can grab the board, drag it around, scroll it, grab things, move them, that kind of stuff. That would be awesome.
Sit on the roof of the Haunted Mansion.
Have to admit, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be cool. I don't have a VR yet. It's on my list of things to do, but I
They're
feel
getting
like you
better.
can just pretty much do everything. Like
They-
you can just
most
put
of
it
the
on
good
and go
ones-
into wherever.
Yeah, most of the good ones have inside out tracking now. You don't have to have towers anymore. So they're going to get better and better. But yeah, we know a lot
Nice.
about VR. We've done a lot of stuff with that in the past for sure, haven't we, Warren?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, I think we're going to close it down
Wait a
today.
minute.
There's some, no, I'm not closing. All you,
We
Todd.
cannot close the doors, Carrie.
Do it. Do it.
I made a promise. Our
Oh.
lovely Discord.
Whoa.
I forgot. You did
Yeah.
remind me.
There was a sneaky leak, and I said if I get 10 spider tanks, I'll share it. And somebody said, "What if there's 20? Do we get 2 leaks?" I said, "No, I'll do better. I'll shout out every single name on the AMA." So, if I put your name, apologies. Let me know in DM how it should be said. But
Are you going to do it in a single breath? Or
count
Take a hold
it
of breath.
Emmerich goes to one is Atomic, Man O War, Kide, Zevan, Hazard, Harry Wang, TJ, Joshua N, Ultra Board, RH, Lego Maracas, Bullhound, Sort of Shiny Obsessed, Kiri 777, Gamerzone 365, Ayako, Goliath, Ink Knight, Gnomes, Family Man, Nico Savage, Mountainville, Moon Maniac, Dracula's Heir, Alyssa, Escos, Bria, Blast, Juice Pigs, Exhale 2007, Baba, Both, Jorik, and OSPJP4, known as NFT Unknown. You are all amazing, and I did it.
boom.
Love you all.
Wow, you called them all. That's awesome, man. Now, what did
that
they do
was
to
the
earn that
best.
honor, man? What was it about the
I
spider tank thing
had
they did?
a sneaky leak. You guys can check it out with the Covenant Gold Gala.
I'm going there
exclusivity.
now. Hang on, let me get
Shameless plug. But and there was just a race for hitting the emoji button, and I said if it's 20 or more, we're gonna do it. So Carrie, thanks for that
Oh, that's
opportunity,
cool.
and I hope for a bigger list next time though.
That's
There was a good start though.
That was great. I feel like it was really pleasing for me to hear you try to pronounce screen names because it's nearly impossible all the time.
And there are
I love
very
it.
creative names. So
Yeah.
kudos.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, guys. I think that's it for the day. We are a little bit over. We're trying to shoot for at least an hour ish each week, and we're going to keep trying to do this. Next week, hopefully, we'll be able to give you some more information about that pesky old Townstar node bot that's jumping around in there. But this week, it's on the hush hush. As always, enjoy your gameplay. Let us know things. You got suggestions. Like I said, we're always listening. We're always here. Maybe we can get another developer person to come join us next week for some new insight and answering some more questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks again, guys.
Thanks everyone.
Bye,
Yeah, thanks
everyone.
for tuning in
Bye.
and being cool and hanging out with us. Thank you all.